Hi, this is John from Janus. Today we're going to be demonstrating how to put on what we call a bark buster to go in front of the handlebars to protect your fingers if you're running through trees. The one that you'd be getting should be powder coated so it matches the rest of your bike. This is an unfinished model we're just using for the demonstration today. The tools we'll be using are a 10mm socket and a 5mm hex wrench, and a utility knife. The first thing you'll need to do, and we're not demonstrating that today, we've already got the handlebar cut off on this one, but the grip that you have has an end on it like this, which sticks out past the bar, and because the bark buster fits inside the handlebar, we need to trim off the end of this. We'll just be demonstrating one side today. This one has already been cut off. We'll trim it like right in this groove area. Just go around there with the utility knife. It cuts off pretty easy. It's pretty soft. And it should be trimmed so that maybe just a little bit of the bar is exposed. You want to make sure that's, particularly on the throttle side, you want to make sure that that's the case because you don't want the bark buster interfering at all with the operation of the throttle over there. But we're just demonstrating the clutch side today. So what we've got here is the grip has already been trimmed off. Installation is pretty simple. This end gets inserted into the end of the handlebar, and this end clamps onto the handlebar back here. So we'll start by removing one of the clamp bolts. So it's ready to insert. Then this will just slide in. Put it up flush with the end of the handlebars. And this side will clamp around. Insert the nut. And you may notice the recessed area on this clamp. On one side, maybe I can show it here. The recessed area is a little larger, and that's the side the nut should go on because you'll want to put a socket around it. And so you want to use that side for the nut. So we'll put the bolt through there. And get the nut started over there. Now, as far as positioning this, the most critical part is that you don't want it to interfere with the clutch lever on this side or obviously the front brake on the other side. So you need to position a little bit above that and make sure that you have free movement of the clutch. It's okay if the clutch has enough give in there that it can come up against it, as long as you can pull it all the way back without the bark buster preventing that, you'll be okay. So we'll go ahead and tighten that up at this end to keep this position right. This is a 5mm wrench. When you tighten this up, it expands that rubber piece that fits inside, and so it'll snug up on the inside of the handlebar. We'll make that snug enough to hold it in place. And then move to this end. There. You may need to work with it just a little bit to make sure it's fitting in. And I need to get a socket on that to hold that in place. Alternate back and forth between these a little bit. So you don't want to clamp down entirely on one side. You want to have the spacing pretty much the same on both sides of the clamp there. That's looking pretty good. And then there's one more down here on the front. And tighten that up. And after those are all tight, you can snug this up just a little more. Make sure that you have free movement of the lever up here. It looks good. And that's basically all there is to it. It's a pretty simple installation.